Shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha, Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles of the Great Millstone GMS who rule and teach Yasha Allah well through the Spirit, leading the flock by example, and salutations to the elect. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. So, I've got an article from the argus.co.uk. This is a recent article that's put up on the 23rd of October this year. And I'll link the this article in the description area underneath. Alright. So yeah, recently British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, went to Barclays. Alright. He visited Barclays Bank in Brighton. Okay. So it says Sir Keir Starmer has said digital IDs will cut the faff. Right? Digital IDs will cut the faff as he sought to win back public support for the scheme. The Prime Minister insisted the identification system would never be needed to get into hospital amid concerns about its potential impact on accessing public services, civil liberties and data protection. The proposed digital IDs announced by Sir Keir last month to be introduced by 2029. Now we know they're going to do it beforehand, alright? Said would be mandatory for anyone working in the UK as part of efforts to clamp down on illegal working and therefore curb illegal migration. We know, that's just what they're, putting out there. All right. Okay. It's all about, total dominance and control. All right. And these people, they trust the government too much and they're zombies anyway. Anything the government says, they believe it and do it. Okay. You got full body scans at airports and all that. Yeah. And nothing that this system does is to help you. Anyway, just look at the food industry and the DRU drug. All right, the DRUG drug industry. Yeah. Food is chemicals. It's not even organic. It's not even fresh. Even though they slap the organic label on, on the produce and on the food and that. Yeah. So we're at the bottom, slaving away to keep this place going. Yeah. All right. So as we read on, it says, but he was keen to stress that, open quote, apart from the right to work, end quote, it, open quote, won't be mandatory, end quote. Now, of course, let's say one thing and mean something else. This is basically him saying, yeah, this is going to be mandatory. Okay. The Prime Minister told staff at a Barclays branch in North Street, Brighton, on Thursday that digital ID would, open quote, really help, end quote, with security for customers after they told him they deal with victims of scams and fraud every day. He also visited Peacehaven Mosque following the arson attack there. He said customers at the branch had told him they were, open quote, really excited about it, end quote, and had relayed, open quote, everyday examples where you can just cut the faff, end quote. It will make many lives a lot easier. The Labour leader also told the BBC, you'll never need ID to get into a hospital or anything like that. Yeah, man, these people are hypocrites and liars. All right. So, hey, we see where they're heading with this, man. We see exactly where they're heading with this. You see? All right. And the elites, the elite banking families, the Amalekites, man, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, DuPonts, the Oppenheimers, etc. All right, who run the world behind the scenes, man. The J-ish banking dynasties. All right, small hats. They do not need, most of these people anyway. They don't need most of you. They want to unalive most of you anyway and see-hip the rest. Okay, you got people voting for Labour. Either way, these people are just puppets, man. Okay? Puppets. For the elite. So the agenda doesn't change. Alright? Got smart cities being set up and stuff. Yeah? And the mark is the RFID mark of C-hip. Okay? The mark of the beast is just that. Yeah? Scripture says they deceived them that, that took the mark of the beast. Alright? Remember he said he wants to cut the faff? The digital ID is the stepping stone to the implantable C-hip and stuff. Alright? Okay? So everything falling into place. Alright? Then, the C-hipping stations. Yeah? Okay. So let's go Revelation chapter 19. We'll go to verse 19. And it reads, "And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army." All right. That's them coming to war against Yahushai, whom the world ignorantly and incorrectly calls Jesus Christ. Okay. Who really, Yahushai is a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. All right. And he's going to return in a great ship over the planet, man, with a whole host of angels in them so-called UFOs. All right. Along with Archangel Michael. All right. Lord's coming back in this massive fathership. All right. And you see the top elites, they know this. Okay. Verse 20. "And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him." Okay. False prophet, the Roman Catholic institution. You know, they're going to push the charagma. All right. All right. You got the corporate world. Okay. And of course, they're going to utilize the media. All right. "And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, that RFID micro C-hip, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone." All right. So yeah. So the nukes, yeah, they're gonna destroy America, Babylon the Great, man, turn it into a lake of fire. All right. And even when you go on YouTube, you see AI, artificial intelligence, all over YouTube. All right. Then you got deep fake, yeah, and it's like you don't truly know what's going on. All right. But of course, we remain circumspect and, you know, we search out things. All right. But at the end of the day, man, these they're all about deception. All right. Keir Starmer throwing up hand signs. All right. These people, they all do this. Influencers, even celebrities that sold out. Yeah. So these people are juiced in. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask chat. All right. As of Saturday, the 20, which is today, the 25th of October, 2025, how many people in the world have been micro C-hipped? All right. As of October 25th, 2025, it's estimated that over 50,000 people worldwide have voluntarily, right, this is just voluntary, it's not been made mandatory yet, okay, received micro C-hip implants. These subdermal C-hips, typically the size of a grain of rice, are used for various purposes such as access control, payments and storing emergency contact information. Sweden leads in adoption, with more than 4,000 individuals opted for these implants. That's according to chat. We know it's more than that, way more. While the number of micro C-hipped individuals is relatively small compared to the global population, the technology is gaining traction, particularly in tech-forward regions, yeah? Cause a thought, both small and great rich and poor, to receive a mark, yeah? The human micro C-hipping market is projected to grow from $1.85 billion in 2024 to $1.9 billion in 2025, indicating increasing interest in investment in this field. It's important to know that these implants are typically passive RFID or NFC C-hips, not GPS trackers. All right, which we know they're going to track. Once they have that inside your body, of course they're going to know where you are and track you anyway. All right. You know, chat does go off, okay, on things. Told it to be truthful, but yeah. At the end of the day, man, all right. All roads leads to the digital all. All right, and we're just gonna see more and more updates. Okay, regarding C-hip, more and more updates with digital ID. Okay, so you know, this is where we're heading, and of course, again, I'll put the link to the article in the description box below. All right, and they're gonna come up with, you know, ways to persuade the masses. All right, Shalom.